Greetings and welcome back to part 6 of Exo Plays Spyro Into the Dragonfly. Are you ready, kids? Sorry, with Tom Kenny here and that seagull sound effect, I just couldn't resist. Okay, that's bullshit. One thing, if you've played Spyro 2 and 3, you might know about the swimming in air glitch. The swimming in air glitch is alive and well in Into the Dragonfly, and you can use it to completely cheese this level, so it's just something to keep in mind. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. That's the professor's lines from Spyro 2. I don't know why they decided to reuse that. Like, the professor doesn't appear in this game at all. Neither does Elora, really. Like, where's Elora in this game? I mean, she was never my favorite member of the Avalar cast, but she was someone you spent a lot of time with in that game, and it's just kind of like... She was barely in Spyro 3, and she's not even in this game at all. By the way, that animation was just amazing, wasn't it?
Hey, it's Socrates.
So... I think that red gem might have been from that one Riptalk that phased through the ground over here. I have to keep track of that. By the way, don't you love the creative naming for the Ripto enemies? Basically what they did is they took Rhinox from the third game and then put Ripto in the name. I mean, I'm not complaining. Ripto should have had an army in the second game. Like, that makes so much sense. Like, what they could have done is, the plot is that all of the, like, all the antagonizing races in Avalar, like the Earth Shapers and the Yeti and the Breeze Builders and those Water Worker guys, those could have all have been from Ripto's dimension, came through the portal with him, and then when they're trying to take over the world, you know, and mold it to their desires, they're doing it for like Ripto. That's how they could have written it, but they didn't. Oh yeah, for a second there I thought it's like one thing that this game does that's kind of annoying, and I mean amazing, is that whenever Spyro gets too close to an NPC, it'll just automatically make you talk to them. And yeah, that's kind of it's amazing is what it is. I don't know a reason, but I'm sure I'll think of something funny to say in a couple seconds. So this is a Super Flame power-up. And the Super Flame model does not look so great. Like, it looks even worse. Like, somehow the PlayStation model looked way better. And that there's kind of no excuse for that. I do find that trying to get on top of those platforms is a little janky, I must admit. So, yeah, I don't, by the way, see him in the level. You can see through into the skybox. I mean, this game's not finished, and I'm kind of pointing out the obvious, but still. I mean, it's part of why I'm recording this in 60, and because, like, I could probably record this in 30 and it would look consistent, you know? Like, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But I decided to record it in 60 so you guys could see the frame rate drops and everything. So, thank me? I don't know what else to say. And by the way, they put that thing in the way so that you... and then now you have to wait for the stupid thing to wear off. See how many times I can overload the thing. Anytime now. Pretty sure the first 3 games would have let me switch back before then.
Hey, it's Homer.
Oh! Oh, I managed to get out of that, thank goodness. The collision detection on that platform is wonky. Are you ready, kids? It's like whenever I hear that sound effect, I just can't resist saying that. That is like from the fucking SpongeBob opening. Like, what else was I not supposed to think about that? I mean, SpongeBob was only a couple years old at the point of this game coming out, but still. Kind of funny to think that Tom Kenny was Spyro before he was SpongeBob. Just a little bit of food for thought. See if we can't finish up this stage, and then we'll probably... That'll be like 3 levels done, so that's probably a good place to cut things off for the session. So, there is one gem hidden down here that is a bit of a obscurus lupa. I don't know why I said that. It's obscure is the point. By the way, these harpoon guys, I'm pretty sure that there were Rhinoc enemies in Seashell Shore that had harpoons. So it's just, this game is, it's kind of like how every Crash game that came out after Warped felt the need to like reuse the Warped theme and recycle music from it, you know? It's kind of, this game kind of follows a lot of Spyro 3 tropes. And Spyro 2 tropes as well. It's just kind of like, you know... Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, because it's just kind of like... I don't know, I think this game is fun. It's not perfect, it has some glitches. I mean, of course it's perfect, it's the best game ever made, don't you know? But... You know, at the same time, so I'll show off what I was trying to get at earlier, is you can see that there are these, kind of pearly looking things, and when you touch them or ram into them by holding down the charge button underwater, they'll light up. And if you light up all of these, then this little yellow gem here will pop in. Now, when I played this on Game Mavericks, that gem phased through the floor and I couldn't collect it. And so I had to, after going through the level like 10 times, like making 10 laps around, finally, it just randomly appeared, and I never understood why. But when I was playing this again for the practice playthrough, I guess what I realized was, oh, there's like a little puzzle there you have to solve. Like, you have to hit those little pearly things, and then when you do that, it will make the gem appear. So, that's how it works. Now you know. Now your life is just that slightest bit easier. By the way, that fire looks terrible. I mean, amazing. Oh, one thing I should also mention. Another thing that this game actually does better than Spyro 2 and 3, honestly, is Spyro 2 introduced all of these new mechanics. Like, specifically, swimming was probably the best one that got the most use, you know? But it also introduced the head bash, the hover, and, what was the ladder climbing? And those were all kind of great ideas, but Spyro 2 especially didn't really do much with them. Like, there's this one really great ladder climbing section in Magma Cone, but other than that, the ladder climbing ability pretty much amounted to nothing except you climb up a wall, which is boring. And Magma Cone shows what they could have done with it if they had tried a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying? And surprisingly, Enter the Dragonfly actually has this one, actually uses the ladder climbing mechanic more than those games, more than the last 2 games did. And there's this one really good ladder climbing section in this game that's even better than Magma Cone. So, yeah, the head bash actually gets used quite a bit for those switches and stuff. I mean, it still feels like they're a little bit underutilized, like they could have been a little bit more creative, but this game still uses those mechanics more than Spyro 2 and 3 ever did, so, you know, credit where it's due and whatnot. I mean, despite this game being the best game ever, don't you know, this really isn't a Mega Man and Bass scenario for me, because I don't consider, Mega Man and Bass to be a guilty pleasure. I consider it a genuinely well-designed game. Whereas with Enter the Dragonfly, I think it definitely is a guilty pleasure of sorts. Because this game is not finished. It is not good in the technical sense. Like, and in terms of some of the design choices. Like, look at that gem just phased through the ground. Like, that's the kind of game we're talking about here. But I'm still having fun playing it. I don't know what to say. By the way, these guys light up as well, so there will be another yellow gem that will drop because of that. Like, you can see that, okay, there should be a yellow gem anyway. I guess I've got to ram this one as well. Maybe you're just supposed to go through them. There it is. There's the yellow gem. You guys can figure it out at home. There's a red guy down here. I knew it was smart to come check over here. Yeah, but there's lots of swimming in this level. There's ladder climbing, there's head bashing, there's platforming. Like, this level's pretty well designed, I think. Like, there's some good platforming sections in it. Like, the enemies still suck, but, you know, I'll take what I can get. By the way, those guys are kind of spooky when they chomp. But I mean, this game, it's not finished, it's glitchy. It has frame rate and loading time issues. But, you know, like, in terms of what do I really want out of a Spyro console game? Frankly, this game gives me more of what I'm looking for than Hero's Tale does. Like, I know a lot of people really like Hero's Tale, and like, if you're one of them, I'm not judging you or anything. But despite this game being more unfinished, I feel like it did a much better job continuing the legacy of 1, 2, and 3 than Hero's Tale did. Like, Hero's Tale had some fun ideas to it, but it felt like I spent way too much time recovering, like, backtracking through areas that I've already been to, you know what I mean? And that, when the whole reason I like Spyro is precisely because it's faster paced and whatnot, and I feel like this game embodies that a lot more. Because it's, you know, like, you can complain about the animations and the cutscenes and whatnot, but, you know, just at the end of the day, this is the kind of gameplay I want to see in a Spyro game, you know what I'm saying? Fast-paced levels.
Hey, it's Scuttlebutt.
By the way, greatest name for anything that has ever existed. But, you know, and don't get me wrong, there's some parts of this game that are really shitty. Like, the final boss is terrible. Like, one of the worst final bosses ever. But you know what? So was Gruntilda in Banjo-Kazooie. So is the Time Eater in Sonic Generations. So is Capital B and Yooka-Laylee. You know what I'm saying? Like, terrible final bosses to cap off otherwise good games. And you know, this game's not as good as those, but I'm having fun! Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I'm having fun capturing dragonflies, even though I have to keep chasing after everything and bubble breathing multiple times. You know, and I'm having fun laughing at the cutscenes. Like, this to me is an example of a guilty pleasure. This to me, because it's like, some people will say that that's what Sonic Adventure is. Like, it's kind of like the ways that it's aged makes it funny. But, you know, no, I think that this game is a much better example of a game that is good despite its shortcomings. Because, you know, and I am not saying that this game is better than 1, 2, and 3. Let's be clear about that. And I think I probably like the Season of Flame and Attack of the Rhinox better than this as well. But still, I mean, I'm having fun.
Get me out of here!
Hello, the gate's open.
Huh? It is? Oh, well, what do you know? Look at that. Silly me. Thanks for saving me.
It's probably a good
Hey,
thing I
it's
talked to him. They forgot to play the sound effects, so I'll do it for you guys live.
Hey, it's still.
There you go. There's the exit portal. So I think we've made a full lap of the stage. So now we're back towards the beginning, because this is designed like Spyro 3, which was a good move. Sometimes the bubble breath will break baskets, and sometimes it won't, and I never can figure out which it actually does. You know, that's how I feel about it. I mean, are you ready, kids? God, like, what were they thinking? I know that there's a lot of Nickelodeon alumni on this, but still, you know, that includes Tom Kenny, obviously. So it looks like we're missing a gem or two, and I have a feeling that one of the ones I'm missing is from that Rip Talk that phased out of existence before I could grab the gem. So yeah. So coming up here, we have a little bit of a rhythm game. You know, pretty straightforward, but I guess we'll get to explain that in more depth in a second. Tikis, just like in Idle Springs. Like I said, they did a good job capturing the art style of the first 3 games.
Unga, we Tiki getting ready for big Tiki tourist luau. Unga, we teach tourists how to play drums, Tiki Tiki style. Tiki Tiki Unga boom, Tiki Tiki Lolo. Come now, me Tiki see Spyro has want to play drums before tourists get here. Unga, go play. Unga, good, have fun. We Tiki will play, then Spyro plays same thing back. We take turns. Don't worry, we Tiki start small, so you learn one note at a time. Unga! Pow!
So how this works is, in terms of how the GameCube controller is laid out, it sort of mimics a PlayStation controller. So the top one is Y, the right one is X, the bottom one is A, and then the left one's B. So once you realize that, you can play this pretty easily. And you don't have to follow the same rhythm. It's not like Skull Kid or whatever from the forest. Y, X, A, B, Y. And, you know, there's not much to commentate on here, because I'm just kind of trying to pay attention. And there we go, we cleared the first round. Pretty easy, huh? And if you want to cheese this, you could just write down the button letters, you know? But I'm gonna try to do this in real time.
Have prize for Spyro.
That Tiki looks really weird. He looks like it looks like a human wearing a mask, whereas the other Tikis from this game usually, you know, are like living
Spyro, good
wood.
drummer already, but are you big drumming champion? Let's find out.
They clearly recorded that in a different recording space. Not that I could tell. Rod Tikni. Alright, let's see. XB. XB Y. X B Y X. X B Y X X. X B Y X X. X B Y X X X. X B Y X X X. And there is a time limit, so you can't fuck around. X B Y X X X A. X B Y X X X A. X B Y X X X A. Ah, shit. Alright, let's try that again. How did I screw that up? Alright. There we go, I did it.
Spyro, that's wow! We Tiki knew you were a big jumping champion. Please take this for reward.
Wow. They must have forgot to record a couple lines in the studio.
Hey, it's Maverick.
And then when it came time to release the game, they're like, oh shit, we're screwed. Just have someone who can do kind of an impression.
Best drummer ever! I have no more dragonflies, but drumming fun. Play more! Ooh, that's too bad. But you can drum anytime.
It's like, wow, I don't think even Sonic 06 didn't do that. I mean, like, there was that one part where someone flubbed the line and they kept it in the game, you know? But this is like on a whole nother level. Like, they're using a desktop microphone to record a line they forgot. So, yeah. So technically, we're out of time. but I don't really have... I don't want to leave things on a cliffhanger. I just kind of want to wrap up Luau Island so that next time we come in, we can just kind of go to a new level. So I think that's what we're going to do, folks. As soon as the fucking thing loads. So that's a weird glitch I've noticed in this game with Enter the Dragonfly, is that I have seen times where you will press the button and then you'll hear the sound effect for like whatever breath you used, and then it will take a few minutes and then suddenly Spyro will just randomly erupt fire from his mouth. Okay, so I guess I did get that gem after all. Or maybe it was this one. Well, we'll kill them all again just in case. So I'm missing a gem. Alright, how many am I missing? Like, maybe there's a part of the level I didn't go to. 5, I'm missing 5. Let's see. Where could I be missing a 5-er? Because that means that I probably didn't miss a guy who fell through the stage or something, because they would have dropped a 1 or a 2, you know what I mean? So it's probably hidden in some nook somewhere. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fast forward until I find the gem, and then we'll go play the last minigame, and then we'll call it a part. Oh wait, I think I found it. Okay, so there's another 5-er I'm missing somewhere around here. Wait, I see it! I missed a basket right at the beginning of the stage. Alright. So now we'll just backtrack to the other portal, and I guess I'll fast forward to that as well. Okay, and we're back. So, one more quick mini-game, and the part's done. Are you guys ready? I certainly am, because I'm dead tired. I'm probably gonna ready to fall asleep. So let's wrap this up.
Hey, Spyro, I was out here checking out my baby manta ray farm, and those stupid riptocs have scared them all away. Let's race to see who can capture more of them before time runs out. Capture the baby manta rays?
Okay, so oh wow, frame rate took a shit. So how you play this is, and this is kind of, strangely enough, a follow-up to a couple of plot points from Spyro 2 and 3. Because if you remember back in Spyro 2, Hunter had a pet manta ray. And then when you played Spyro 3 in Desert Ruins, you played an underwater section where you ride on the back of one of his manta rays, and it has like guns on it, and you're shooting at some robot sharks. And then you play Spyro 4, and now Cheetah Hunter has built a farm.
Cowabunga, dude! You got all of them in time, and they're safe and sound.
Hey, it's Krishnamurti!
Want to try capturing them again? All right, I'll see if I can calm them down until you come back. They seem to like the way I sing.
yeah, that's it. That's part 6 of Exo Plays Spyro, Enter the Dragonfly. Join me next time in the next part, and we'll go play a new level of some kind. But till then, I'm Exo, and I will see you guys in the next part. Good God, these load times. It's still loading. Okay. And it hasn't even loaded the pause screen graphic yet. Look at that. Oh yeah. This game is a little, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.